Everyone that sees Trae Young gets fired. That's the truth. They get thrown out the building by their collar. You hear me?
You said it. You went to the playoffs 9 times. I've only been to the playoffs 3. You're right. You have 6 more playoff appearances than me.
Trae Young just cooked Patrick Beverley so bad, even the scoreboard needed therapy. Forget trash talk. This was a masterclass in trolling, with ice-cold timing and a side of petty that deserves its own highlight reel. You won't believe how Trae turned Beverley's play-in celebration into pure comedy gold.
You've been to 1 conference finals. I've been to 1 conference finals. What year was that for you? Just another fact, year 9. The year I made it was year 3. Just a fact. You want to know?
Patrick Beverley has made a career out of acting like every basketball possession is Game 7 of the finals, even if it's a preseason scrimmage against a G League team. The man dives into the first row chasing a loose ball in October like it's his life mission, then chest pounds like he just cured world hunger.
We're not even going to talk about how we celebrate play-in wins. I win play-in games on the road, and I'm ready to get to the playoffs. You win play-in games at home, and you standing on the scorer's table acting like it's...
And the pièce de résistance? That infamous play-in game celebration. A single victory in the NBA's participation trophy tournament, and Beverley acted like he just secured a ring for Minnesota. Tears, table climbs, jersey toss? If you didn't know the context, you'd think the Timberwolves had just reversed a 30-year curse, not just squeaked into the playoffs.
It's just something about Patrick Beverley that just get these NBA players pissed the fuck off once he speak. Trae Young just went off on Patrick Beverley for 17 minutes.
It was less of a win and more of a Broadway audition for overdramatic Guard the musical. But see, here's the problem. The internet never forgets. And if there's one player in the league who lives rent-free in defenders' heads, it's Trae Young.
The fact that Pat Bev could really think he could talk about Trae Young is weak. My boy, you are a good defender, I give you that, but you are a watered-down Drew Holiday. You're not even the best defender of the guards.
The man could be playing chess, and he'd still find a way to shimmy after a checkmate. Beverley, thinking he was safe, leaned on that play-in glory for far too long. That's when Trae decided to remind everyone just how hilarious it was that someone thought April confetti should rain down for an 8th seed.
Trae Young said while you was up there jumping around on the scores table like you won the championship and it was a play-in game, I was actually in the playoff.
The clapback wasn't just brutal, it was surgical. And that's where the comedy begins. Because Trae didn't just roll his eyes and move on. No, Ice Trae iced Pat Bev with the kind of troll that turns into a meme template. It was as if he said, let's not pretend your little play-in victory lap belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Talking about I won more than you. My first 9 years in the NBA, I played in the playoffs. You do realize if you missed the game, y'all was still going to the playoffs, right? First option.
The way Trae pulled it off, he didn't even need volume. A smirk, a sly comment, a knowing look. That's all it took to reduce Beverley's proudest Minnesota moment into something you'd laugh about at the family barbecue. And honestly, that's peak Trae Young. The guy has made an art form out of humiliation without breaking a sweat. He doesn't scream, doesn't need to flex veins out of his forehead. He just flicks his wrist from 30 feet, watches it splash, and reminds you your entire defensive scheme is pointless.
Man, you in a playoff game, you jumping on the scorer's table like it's a championship to finish the quote. Like, come on, man. Stop, bro. It's just levels, bro.
Then, if you're lucky, he'll give you that shoulder shimmy as a parting gift. Against Beverley, it wasn't about the points. It was about proving that grown men crying in April is something the league will never let go. Let's really think about Beverley's celebration for a second. Imagine clocking out of work on a Friday, tossing your laptop in the air, ripping off your shirt, and sprinting to HR yelling, "I did it!" That's basically what happened.
And Pat Bev does sound delusional. This man put down the All-Star team and got mad when an All-Star responded. Trae Young is an All-Star. Pat Bev is not.
The Timberwolves beat a Clippers team held together with duct tape, and Beverley treated it like a parade was waiting downtown. He cried, he hugged, he probably texted every ex who doubted him, and somewhere, confetti cannons were crying too. Fast forward to now, and Trae essentially tapped him on the shoulder like, big guy. That wasn't the Oscars. That was the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah, in their 7 career games, said that again for him. He averaged 28, 11, and 4. leave me alone, brother. Respect to you and your career, bro, but it's different.
Bro.
Yeah, it's some people you just can't box with.
The delicious irony is that Trae Young has his own highlight reel of embarrassing moments, just not for him, for everyone else. Remember Madison Square Garden? The man turned an entire fan base into background noise, bowing on their home court like it was his Broadway debut. He doesn't just win games, he scripts rivalries. Beverley should have known better than to poke that bear.
Oh, this Pat Bev and Trae Young situation, man, this beef is crazy to me. I'm just laughing, bro. I know I'm a day late, but like, Pat Bev goes off on Trae Young, tells them to win more games before speaking to him. Like, Pat Bev, who do you think you are, man?
Because while Beverley celebrates surviving the play-in like a lottery jackpot, Trae celebrates by breaking souls in nationally televised humiliations. And here's the real kicker. Trae didn't even need to try. That's what makes it so devastating. For Beverley, that play-in game was the peak, the mountaintop moment. For Trae, mocking that celebration was just another Tuesday. He probably clapped back between scrolling through memes of himself as an ice cube and sending good morning texts to defenders still traumatized from his floaters.
Go ahead, Pat Bev. You want to talk about, I never missed the playoffs? Yeah, go ahead, Pat Bev. Talk about how you never missed the playoffs. But who did you really play with? Let's see who you play with. You played with LeBron.
It's not just that he trolled Beverley, it's that he trolled him so effortlessly. Like swatting a fly with a napkin, but with flair. And let's not ignore the contrast here. Beverley is grit personified. Every possession, he's barking, clawing, throwing himself around like a human pinball. Trae? He looks like he should be studying for the SAT, yet he drops 30 without breaking a sweat. One is sweat and grind, the other is ice and finesse. So when ice mocks grind, it's inherently hilarious. It's like a librarian roasting a construction worker for not using proper grammar, and somehow the librarian wins. The best part? Trae didn't just embarrass Beverley, he reminded all of us how ridiculous that play-in saga was. NBA fans love drama, but even the most die-hard Timberwolves supporter had to admit that watching a city act like they just won the Super Bowl for a play-in victory was comedy gold.
Nothing. You have not won anything in the NBA. Who cares if you made the playoffs? You have not won a ring. We don't remember none of that.
Trae's clapback was basically fan service, giving the internet permission to relive that glorious overreaction without feeling mean. He didn't just troll Beverley, he curated nostalgia for one of the NBA's funniest viral moments. And that's the genius of it. Trae Young knows the NBA isn't just basketball, it's theater. Beverley gave him material, and Trae turned it into content.
What are we talking about? You talking about Trae Young. Trae Young's never played with the talent you played with. So obviously you're gonna make the playoffs more than him.
Because at the end of the day, we're not just watching jump shots and layups. We're watching rivalries, memes, and legacies collide. Beverley will always be remembered for intensity, for fire, for that one magical night in Minnesota. But Trae? He'll be remembered for ending series, silencing arenas, and casually reminding everyone that some celebrations age worse than milk in the sun.
Yo, Trae Young, what he said, I was 19 going my rookie season. You know how old you was? You was 24. I didn't even know that shit. I had to actually look that shit up to actually fact check that.
In the end, it's almost poetic. Beverley gave us one of the most unintentionally hilarious celebrations in NBA history. Trae Young, with one icy clapback, immortalized it forever. One man cried tears of joy, the other turned those tears into punchlines. It's the circle of NBA life. One over-celebrates, the other ridicules, and we all sit back, popcorn in hand, entertained beyond belief. In the end,
I don't know
it's
why
almost
you responded
poetic.
to Pat Bev.
Beverley gave us one of the most unintentionally hilarious celebrations in NBA history. Trae Young, with one icy clapback, immortalized it forever. One man cried tears of joy, and the other turned those tears into punchlines of someone clapping back. It's the circle of NBA life. One over-celebrates, the other ridicules, but Trae, and we all sit back. He made sure that moment will never be remembered as glory, beyond belief, only as the NBA's greatest unintentional comedy special. And if that doesn't sum up the hilarious chaos of basketball, nothing does.